Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Easy Natural English with Liam. As usual, I will be talking to you in natural but slightly easier English so you can get used to the way native English speakers speak. You see, because textbooks don't really prepare us for this, and I know it's very difficult. So that's why I'm here speaking to you with no script and no editing, so you can get used to a natural speech pattern, the way native English speakers really speak. And today's topic, I'm going to talk about movies, or particularly about famous movies. So those of you who are listening to the podcast won't be able to see me, but those of you who are watching the YouTube version of this, you'll see that I'm wearing a Star Wars t-shirt for the occasion. Because, Star Wars, I really like the Star Wars series. And Star Wars must be one of the most famous movies. I think it would be hard to find somebody who hasn't heard of Star Wars. Do you know anyone who doesn't know at least the name Star Wars? Maybe they don't know exactly what Star Wars is about, but I'm sure almost everybody, must have heard the name Star Wars before. I hope so, because I like the movies. I think everybody should watch them. A problem is, what's it called? The prequels. The prequels. When you make a movie, and then you go back and make the story before, the kind of history of that story, that's called a prequel. So they made Star Wars, they made 3 Star Wars movies, or George Lucas, the director, and then he went back and he made 3 prequel stories, and a lot of people, including me, didn't really like those. So now some people who start watching Star Wars, maybe they'll begin with those ones, but they're not very good, I don't think. So famous movies. I was thinking about this before I started recording today. I was thinking, which movies do most native English speakers know about or have seen? And that, of course, that depends on the generation. But I think some movies, most English speakers know about them. So like I said, Star Wars is one. And also I think Jurassic Park, because Jurassic Park is also a long-running series. They made the first movie a long time ago. I was just a boy then. I was very young. And they're still making them now. So, like a lot of people know about Jurassic Park, the movie with all the dinosaurs in the park running around killing everybody. Every story is the same thing, really. Every story, you see the setup, you see the situation. Beginning of the movie, they put these giant dinosaurs in the cage, and you think, that cage doesn't look strong enough. I think that dinosaur is going to break out of there. 30 minutes into this movie, those dinosaurs are going to break out and start eating people. We know that's what's going to happen, but they keep making them. They keep making these Jurassic Park movies. The dinosaur's going to get out. People are going to be driving very fast trying to get away from the dinosaurs. Same thing every time, but, they're fun. I like the first one a lot. I don't really like the new ones so much, but I think the first Jurassic Park movie was very fun, and at the time the special effects were very impressive, kind of similar to Star Wars. The special effects were very impressive at the time. But other famous movies, I think E.T. E.T. The little strange alien. I know a good joke about E.T., but I don't know if might be hard to understand for people learning English. I'll leave that joke. I think it'll be, maybe another episode I'll tell you my E.T. joke. But yeah, E.T. is a nice story. Not too long ago, actually, I watched the Japanese version. I changed the language. I watched the Japanese dub version of E.T. That was quite funny to see the alien speaking. I'm very used to his voice in English. In English he always says phone home, phone home. So it's kind of funny hearing these famous lines in the Japanese version. And then of course, famous movies. Of course, Terminator. I think a lot of people know about Terminator. With Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger is a actor that almost everybody must know about in the world. The big muscly guy. Now he's the governor. Or is he still governor? Yeah, he was the governor of California. I think he is still the governor. I don't know. I don't really follow American politics that closely to know the governor of every state, but yeah, he was the governor at least. Terminator, also a series that just keep going. And also, like Jurassic Park, I think the first one and second one were good, but yeah, maybe they're not so good these days. But also movies that had very impressive special effects at the time. These days, probably the Harry Potter series of movies. The Harry Potter series is probably one of the most famous and most popular these days. I know a lot of my students, because if you remember, I teach English online. I used to teach English in schools. Now I teach English online. A lot of my students who are interested in British English, a lot of them, it's because of Harry Potter. I've heard that many times when my students say, I want to learn British English. And I say, why? And, I like the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, that's usually a reason why a lot of people are interested in British English. But yeah, Harry Potter's a fun story. If you don't know, it's about a young wizard who he's adopted. Adopted means when your parents are not like your biological parents. They're not your real parents, if you like. They didn't give birth to you. So he's adopted by his uncle, I think it is. And that family, they're not very nice to him. He's having a very rough life, having a tough time. And then he finds out that he's a wizard. So he gets to go to a wizard school instead. And he spends his days in a, what do we call it? A boarding school. So a boarding school is like a school where you go to live. So he's in like a kind of wizard's boarding school, learning about spells. Spell, like when they say like, I don't know Harry Potter very well. What do they say? Something levosum or whatever they say. Those things. And then something magic happens. Yeah, that's called a spell in English. And they also make potions. Potion is when you mix together strange things to make a kind of magic liquid. Yeah, potion. So yeah, they learn spells and potion. Yeah, it's a fun story. I watched the movies, Harry Potter. I also read some of the books, but I didn't continue. Actually, now I have the Japanese version of Harry Potter, so I need to read that at some point. Other famous movies that all English speakers know, I wonder. Maybe you're listening now and you're thinking, there's one that I know about. But yeah, I can't really think. I'm sure there's maybe these days too, Marvel movies. Everybody knows about Marvel and DC, like the Batman movies. Yeah, and the Marvel movies like X-Men, Spider-Man, those things are all very popular. Anything with lots of special effects always gets very popular. But anyway, so this doesn't go on too long. I'm going to wrap it up here. Perhaps, this is a topic can pick up again another time. And maybe instead of famous movies, I'll just talk about movies that I think are good. If people are interested, if you're interested in that. And you're on the YouTube version of this, you can put a comment below. Or any other topics you'd like me to talk about, please request them. And then, if you listen to me talking about these topics, then you can get used to the natural way yourself to talk about these. So if there's something that's hard for you to talk about, then please tell me in the comments below and I'll pick that topic up. Otherwise, thank you all for listening, or thank you for watching if you're on YouTube. So when I make this, I'm making the podcast version and the YouTube version, so now I have to think about speaking to both groups of people at the same time. But thank you all. I appreciate all of your support. Please review, like, subscribe, depending on where you're listening. Tell your friends. Help me build this up and create a fluent English army. People who can speak like native speakers. Okay, thanks again, and I will see you all back here next time.